Welcome to the House of Legends podcast, where great women become exceptional. I am your host, Graciela, founder and CEO of the House of Legends by Graciela, a mindset coach and mother of three beautiful kids. My mission and passion is to provide you with the tools that will allow you to unlock and bring out the best version of yourself, which is the key to all change. Some of those tools are mindset, identity work, and emotional mastery. Not only that, but I will also bring you powerful conversations with legends like you, showcasing their journey, life work, and allowing us to learn from their experiences and insights. So don't miss an episode. Tune in each week to the House of Legends podcast and let's unlock the power of your own legend. Let's dive in today's episode. No matter where you start, no matter where you are, you have this power. You hold this power, and this is the power of choice. You can choose who you want to be. You can choose how you present yourself, the way that you show up. You can choose how you respond. You can choose anything. This is one of the most powerful codes that you hold. And the second component of a choice is also your leadership. When you made a radical choice, the code that is going to help you to hold that, to walk through that process, is your leadership. And by the way, those were the codes that I choose to open up our 8-week series called The Woman Behind the Business. And the Woman Behind the Business has the intention to bring you behind the scenes, to share with you some of the most powerful lessons and experiences that allowed me to be the woman that I'm right now. Those experiences that cracked me open. And I'm not gonna tell you all about the pain and all about the ups and downs and things like that. I'm gonna take you through a journey where you're gonna see, where you're gonna feel every single one of those codes, every single one of those experiences. And it's gonna act as a puzzle. And at the final of the 8 weeks, you will have the lessons, some of the lessons, some of the experiences that you can actually mirror back on your own journey and learn from them. But before we dive in, I strongly suggest you to tune in each every week and have this conversation with me. Just sit back, be ready to receive. Maybe you like myself, I love coffee right now. I'm introducing coffee after a few years. I used to compete, by the way. I'm going to share that with you in another episode. But at one point, I was drinking a lot of coffee and pre-workouts and all that. And I knew that I did have to cut those off, and I did. But now I'm introducing those back. By the way, let me get back to the point. So every single week, tune in, bring your cup of coffee, cocoa. I love cocoa, by the way. And just imagine that we're in the same living room and that we are having this deep conversation. Because if you know me, I go deep. I don't like just like creepy conversations. I like to go deep. And after you get to listen every transmission, I will love if you can share on your social media or graphic. We have the graphic on Instagram page. If you can share the graphic, and in that way you can tag us on your Instagram stories or Facebook, and also share with us what did you receive from the podcast? What was the aha moment, the insight that you learned from that? And by episode 4, I'm going to share with you as well something special that I'm doing for the woman that there is participating in this thing. I'm going to pick up I will say one, but it will be maybe 3 three women, and we're gonna do something fun, okay? But I'm gonna disclose that on episode 4. If you feel the call, if you feel the vibe, share, share because it's gonna be something amazing. All right. Let me tell you something. I feel really excited. Even if I'm here while I'm recording this, I just feel really excited because I know you will have a new perspective about what it takes, about the experiences, and that take place behind the scenes, and that we don't see, but we only see the effects, the results, right? I'm gonna take you back to the moment where I was about to turn 17, and I came here to Texas with my father and my sister. My other siblings were in Mexico. And when I came here, I was coming with this illusion of the American dream. And what I found was something quite different. And I'm bringing this specific experience because even in my lowest moments, even in the moments that I felt like I was lost, that life was not what it's supposed to be, I led myself with grace, and I always choose to believe that something wonderful it was about to happen. Taking you back to that week when I arrived 1 week before my prompt back in Mexico. We don't call it prompt, we call it celebración. I came 1 week before of that. And that precise date, I arrived to my uncle's house where his wife, she used to clean offices, and she invited me the first day right away. And I said yes. I went with her. And in that week, the week that I came here, the week that I thought I was coming to the land of opportunities, the land of the where the dreams where all the dreams were possible, I find myself cleaning offices with this lady. And in the day that I was supposed to be on my prompt, having this beautiful dance, I was cleaning offices. I still remember that it was 12 a.m. because she was cleaning offices at night. And at one moment I stopped and I closed my eyes, and I can still feel the salty tears running. And I knew in that moment that life was presenting that to me, but that was not my end. That was just a starting point. And it was. After that, after that week, we moved on with my father to his apartment. And from there, the journey began. And I'm not going to say that all start with rainbows and butterflies. I start to see the quote unquote reality that what my father was living, that despite of all the the smiles that he used to bring to Mexico, that he was not living his dream. Aside of that, I started to go to college, to some classes here and there, but those classes were not official, I will say that. Another thing that I want to mention, when I came here, I was not able to speak. I think I was able just to speak 2 words, The one it was like, I think it was goodbye and love. That's it. And when I think about that, when I think about my first job, but by the way, after that week, when I moved to my father's apartment, he got me a job in a supermarket, at a supermarket, and that job lasted for 8 years. And of course, I went through all the positions, cashier, customer service, manager, all those things. And I don't feel ashamed of those moments because those moments were crafting one part of me that I need to be built. One of the things that I always said, you cannot be the light if you don't know your shadow. You can know you cannot distinguish of black from white if you haven't experienced both. So that was the duality that lasts 8 years, and during all those 8 years, I always held this idea of something better. I was in and out, I will say in that. I was not holding that image on my mind steady, but I felt, when you have this feeling that something better is about to happen when despite of all the shitty things or despite of the circumstances, you know that you are meant for more. I felt that way all the time. And I'm not gonna say that I was in the best positive I was state because I wasn't. Back then, my weight was 200 pounds. Like I said, I was working at a supermarket. And during those years, I got pregnant. My first daughter, that now she's 15. That relationship lasts for, I think, 6 months. And then I moved back again with my father. And then I got pregnant in 2012 with my second daughter. I moved out from my parents' house with this second relationship. And I'm not gonna say that that relationship was bad or good. I think was what I was a match for. In those moments, I was leading myself with force, with in all my masculine, making things happen, working overtime, trying to please a man, trying to please every single one of my friends, my family members, but I was not happy at all. But despite that, I was leading. Despite that, I was moving. Despite that, I was making things happen in my own way. I would love to mention as well that this experience allowed me to see that anyone, and I say anyone, can choose something different. I went from 200 pounds from working at a supermarket, being in a toxic relationship, not knowing who I was, hating my life, hating myself, having no confidence, to now having an amazing physique, an amazing health, having my own business, attracting beautiful relationships, loving myself, understanding myself, having goals, having ambition. I get emotional even sharing this because we can choose. We can choose. You can choose. Maybe you, and if you're part of your community, you're not in this specific stage of life. I know that. But maybe in your business, if something is not working fully yet, all that vision, and by the way, I'm going to share that in another episode, hold that belief, hold that idea that something better is about to unfold because it is. It is. Despite of all those years where I was working in that job, where I was living those experiences, I never lose the faith. I never lose that idea of something better is about to happen. Something it's just about to happen. And in 2014, God gave me, God gave me one of the most powerful gifts ever. I got chills even sharing this with you. God gave me a powerful idea, and this idea tried to came to me in different forms and ways the last during those years. I I was struggling a lot with my weight in my teens, and I was doing, and this is another thing that we're gonna see during our a week transmission. I was doing the things. I was buying the gym membership, the products, the trying to do the diet, trying to do the juice, trying to do the fast, trying to do those things. But I never thought that it was possible for me back then. I was going up and down. But in 2014, December 24, 2014, it was late at night when that idea came, and I fused totally with the idea. I fused with the idea, and in that moment, I override everything. I saw myself fit. I saw myself in this beautiful body. And in that precise day, early on December 24, I give birth to my son, Adrian. He's now 10. My weight was more than 200 pounds. I was in a hospital with no understanding of nutrition, no contacts, no understanding about self-development, no understanding about nothing at all. But that idea of me being that, choosing that idea, fusing with the idea of this is who I am right now, without any proof, without no proof when I was seeing myself at the mirror, with no proof at all, with no contacts, like I said, with no knowledge about nothing. I was able to fuse with that idea, and that idea, when I choose that idea, and that idea choose me, and when we fuse, that idea took me from one world to another. That idea, choosing that idea and choosing myself and leading myself from the minute that idea fused with the belief, from that moment, my destiny was about to change. And I start to leading myself in a different way. I start to leading and thinking and vibrating in a new frequency without knowledge of this. And I'm remarking this because you can choose and lead with no evidence. You can choose and lead when things are not working, or when the human side is not able to see yet the manifestation. You can choose and you can lead. I'm going to take you to part two on the next episode. And yes, I know it feels like a Netflix thing, but yeah, I'm going to take you to the second part on our next transmission. So I strongly invite you to tune in and to share, by the way, your social media. What was your main takeaway an aha moment, an insight, something that you get from this transmission. And by episode 4, give you, I'm gonna disclose the fun way where myself and 3 of you, we're gonna do something really, really amazing together. All right, I'm gonna leave you with something actually as well, some actionable steps, because like I said before, I think I mentioned this before. If not, I'm mentioning right now. In my world, it's really important for you, for me and you, not only to have information or to have insights of experiences or codes. I want you to have something that is tangible that you can apply right away. For this week, aside of this experience that now is your experience as well, I would love for you if you can take a look today, not tomorrow, in this moment after listening to this podcast, and ask yourself, look at your life today. Are you leading your life? Are you leading it? Are you choosing your path? Or you're letting the circumstances dictate it? Ask yourself, what is one thing I can choose today to take back control? And I know many of us, we don't want control. We want to let things flow. But one of the things that I realized during my personal experiences is when I use the word control is when we are tuning into something new. You have to have certain control of certain discipline until it becomes your nature. So I'm remarking again the question, what is one thing I can choose today to take back control? What are you choosing today? Well, this was the first transmission. I will love for you. You can share your thoughts. You can subscribe to the podcast as well, that sharing on your social media. And I know I was about to just go and just go on and on and on, because this is something that I know you will learn. I will as well, that I'm learning from all of you. But I know that episode 2 is going to be even more amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next. Thank you so much for being here. Your presence is greatly appreciated, and it truly means a lot to me. If you could support us by leaving a 5-star review, it will help us to connect with more extraordinary and influential women like you. With that being said, thanks once again, and let's look forward to an amazing and legendary week ahead.